OC Financial Media presents, in association with CHL Mortgage, as heard on KTLK AM1150, from LA to Orange County.
Your host, Dino Katsiametis.
It's about your real estate. It's about your money. From your estate to real estate, it's Money Matters with Dino.
Welcome back to Money Matters with Dino on K-Talk, AM1150. If you have any questions at all about anything you hear here today, call us at 949-720-1616. That's 949-720-1616, or check us out online at moneymatterswithdino.com. This segment is brought to you by Reverse Mortgage Educators. These guys have been on the show a few times now, and they have absolutely made me a believer. If you're over 62 years of age and you're having trouble living on a fixed income, or if you just want to enjoy your retirement, get in touch with Reverse Mortgage Educators. Call me direct at 949-720-1616, and I'll explain how it works, or I'll get you in touch with them directly. Okay, joining us today, our panel discussion with the experts are Ron Mazzano from Rapallo.com and Jay O'Brien from REMAX Prestige. Our topic today is the new tech real estate agent. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, Ron, I gotta tell you, I've been in the business for 15, 16 years or so. And I remember being the young guy in the business and, hearing some of the names and, kind of watching people and following certain successful people. And your name was always coming up. So I feel like I'm one of the old dogs kind of, but then you step into the room and not to insult you, but you are definitely the old dog in the room now. How long have you been in the business?
I've been a real estate broker for over 40 years.
40 years?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But you've done something new now. You're kind of, you're being innovative for an old dog. You are certainly being innovative, and you started a new company called Rapallo.
I have. It's kind of unusual at this stage for me to venture out, but I really see a need in the marketplace for something like Rapallo, and I believe really it is a future of real estate, whether I'm able to get there quick enough, or if somebody else in the future will perfect it. I believe that it is something that everyone will participate in the future.
Tell us what it's about.
Well, Rapallo is, first of all, Rapallo, I got the name from Rapallo as, Pallo is post in Italian, so RE, real estate post. So basically what it is, it's an online transaction negotiating platform that's transparent. And what it does, it really opens up the marketplace, which I believe over the years has been closed. I think that real estate over the years that I've been in it has evolved in some aspects, but it really has not evolved in the transaction aspect of the deal. And so basically what it does, it allows the buyers and sellers to really view the activity, the negotiating activity on a piece of property, so that buyers can make more informed decisions. And because of the open competition, sellers get more money. We found that probably in a multi-offer situation that over half of the sellers are leaving money on the table on every deal.
Wow, that much. And there's, listing agents many times will obviously want a double-end deal, as many people say, and want to, double dip and bring in their own buyers as well. There's all sorts of rumors out there that an unethical real estate agent maybe won't present offers that come in because they want to try and hold it back so they can have their buyers, take over. I would suppose a company like yours, it just completely takes that aspect of the equation out completely, and ultimately it's better for the consumer.
There's no question. It really, when you get to it, everyone wins in the transaction. In 2011, there was $370 million in short sale fraud.
How much?
$370 million in short sale fraud. And a lot of that had to do with the fact that there was inside trading. People were selling to their friends who were flipping the property for $100,000 in a couple months and that. And basically everyone loses. First of all, the buyers who tried to buy those properties were not able to buy it. And the sellers who were selling those properties, meaning the GSAs and Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, were losing hundreds of millions of dollars because of the fact that there was not open competition for those properties.
Wow. Well, thank you for coming here. I'm looking forward to hearing your insight on all our questions here today. Mr. Jay O'Brien, the young gun sitting next to the guy who's been in the business for 40 years.
Yes, sir.
Tell us about your business and how you generate business.
I'd say the majority of the business is generated online, and that could be not specifically on one geographic location, but really anywhere in Orange County. And I got into the business full-time about 1.5 years ago. My office is in Anaheim Hills. I live in Costa Mesa. I cover anywhere and everywhere in between. But yeah, a lot of the business too is referral-based, but through technology, not through the traditional sense. I mean, for the amount of referral business I've had in 1.5 years, you just couldn't do that if it was based on past clients, right? Because those past clients aren't even there yet.
Right.
So it has to be more than that. It has to be a trusted source. So that's been the majority of my experience in the last year. And then we're constantly coming up with innovative ideas that we're testing. Some of them work, some of them don't, but they all circle around the idea of getting in front of the client in less of a physical sense.
Now, do you have kind of your own little rule of I have to get in front of the client X amount of times, a year or a month, or how aggressive are you on marketing?
In terms of follow-up?
Yeah, I mean, there's a few things like with social. Actually, you know what? Let's hold. I'll ask that question in the questions because there's a couple specifics that when we spoke earlier that you said that I thought were interesting. And
okay.
Let's just get to that. So let's just start with the questions. All right, first question. Ron, let's start with you. First, you started Rapallo.com to put more transparency into real estate. What made you decide there was a need? Do you feel like it would help jumpstart the recovery?
I basically felt that it was a need. One is I had talked about that there's not been an evolution in real estate. The second thing is I thought that the method of negotiating multi-offer situation is broken. With the lenders, with REOs and short sales, they began the process of negotiating on the basis of telling the buyer, come back with your highest and best. And even when multi-offers are given to the buyers, every buyer and every buyer's agent is out there trying to guess what the magic number is. Mm-hmm. And each one of them have been asked to negotiate against themselves. So I know that's broken. Highest and best doesn't get anybody either. But with open transparency, where the buyer can actually see the offers on the property and see the terms of the offer, they know exactly what it takes to buy the property. So that informed decision either makes them decide, yes, I could pay more, or no, I'm not going to pay that much for it.
Okay.
The third thing is there's really an ease of getting into the real estate business. It doesn't take a lot to get a license. So basically what you have out there is you have a lot of inexperienced and unknowledgeable agents out there helping you negotiate your most important sale and investment of your life.
Right.
So what I've created is a tool for even the most inexperienced agent can put that property on the marketplace with Rapallo and allow the transaction to proceed and to get the highest price for the seller and also create the most informed decision-making process for the buyer.
I like that because I've said a number of times over, a good real estate agent these days isn't one that knows how to find the house, because quite honestly, the client can find the house by themselves online these days. It's the one that knows how to negotiate the deal, keep you out of trouble, and move things along the right way.
Right. Most real estate agents have never taken a negotiating class.
Yeah.
If you ask them what are 4 or 5 techniques that you would use in negotiating, most people would not be able to tell you anything.
Interesting. So is it who is more your client? Is it the agent or the actual consumer, the seller?
Well, to tell you the truth, what I've done in the past up to this point, we've been a B2B type situation. I presented this to the Inspector General of HUD, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, Bank of America, and all those. And they're so big and they're so slow to make changes in the industry. And so what I've gone is to asset managers who actually have product and have been servicing them. But just lately, we've decided to go to the consumer themselves. And so with radio ads and a bunch of other things, we're going basically to the seller and talking to the seller about how they can get their agent to participate in the situation and to maximize their sales price.
Got it. Okay. Jay, so you're, I guess, what we would call the new breed of real estate agents. How much of your business would you say is tech-based versus relationship-based?
Well, I'd say that those two can be one of the same. I don't think that those are mutually exclusive. A lot of my relationships are branded because of the tech stuff. So to give you an example, a lot of the referral-based business is because somewhere in my 6 degrees of separation from the person that I'm going to eventually service, someone trusts me.
Right.
So maybe, for example, you trust me, you know me, but your wife's sister's roommate has no idea who I am. But because you know who I am, I'm going to take her listing now.
Got it.
And the reason why I'm always in front of you is through technology.
What would you say is your number one tool for technology? Like, which one do you use the most? Is it Facebook, Twitter?
Facebook, absolutely.
Facebook.
Yeah.
And why Facebook over Twitter?
Twitter and Facebook are two different languages, and it's not necessarily that one's better than the other. Facebook is something that I started with, and although I do have a Twitter account and it gets used periodically, it's nothing like Facebook. The engagement on Facebook, at least in my opinion, is much more personable. People go to Twitter for information, quick information, and with Facebook, I think it's a little bit more of that personable touch with the photos and the constant engagement through comments and the befriending and all of that. So that's something I've just continued to utilize, and it's worked to my advantage up to now.
So explain this to me, the hashtag. And a lot of times I'll look at Twitter and I see just these words, hashtag word, and I can't even understand what the heck is going on.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Like, why? How do you talk like that?
Well, eventually, I mean, what it was supposed to be in the beginning was just a searchable tool. So if I said something about Orange County real estate, maybe something specific to a certain city, and then hashtag that city, hashtag OC real estate, whatever it was, it now makes that term searchable. So if someone were to search that, they might come across my post. I don't know how it got to be what it is now, because if you were to use it as a searchable tool now, which I'm sure people still do, but it's probably pretty inefficient because it's just so clustered now. And people,
Right.
I mean, for me personally, I never use hashtags at all. They've never been a part of my business. But when I first was being educated about them, I was searching through Twitter and through Facebook search, not only just through hashtags, but keywords and statuses, and seeing what are people saying, you know, on Facebook or on Twitter. Are people saying that they're, you know, they hate their landlord and they can't wait till they buy? Things like that. I would look for that sort of stuff and then reach out to those people.
Okay. Interesting. Oh. You're listening to Money Matters with Dino on KTalk AM1150. If you have any questions at all about anything you've heard here today, call us at 949-720-1616. That's 949-720-1616. Or check us out online at moneymatterswithdino.com. From your estate to real estate, we're here to help. Stick with us. We'll be right back after the break. Continue our panel discussion with the experts. Today's topic is the new tech real estate agent. We'll see you in just a moment.
Finally, a reputable legal firm. CDA Law Center, a nationally recognized nonprofit homeowner advocate, one of the most trusted firms in the country for helping consumers with their loan modification process. CDA's attorneys have decades of combined experience guiding their clients through the very complex and choppy waters of loan modification. Call 877-499-4435, 877-499-4435. Finally, honest and ethical advice to gain real results. Call CDA Law Center at 877-499-4435. That's 877-499-4435, or check them out online at cdalawcenter.com.
50 years ago, you didn't have any worries. You danced the night away. But the music slowed down. And now you have financial worries and woes you never thought you would be faced with in retirement.
I'm so afraid that my husband and I aren't going to be able to afford to live in our home.
Thousands of people have chosen to put a spring in their financial step by taking advantage of a government-insured reverse mortgage loan that turns the equity in your home into tax-free cash. You can use the cash for whatever you want. Pay off medical bills, credit cards, travel, and start to enjoy your retirement. Best of all, you still own your own home. Call now. Find out how you can qualify for a life without monthly mortgage payments. Call now, and we will send you a free DVD that will explain if a reverse mortgage is right for you. Call the number on your screen right now. No obligation, just education.
Mortgage professionals, are you looking for a company that values you as a loan officer? One that can provide you with the tools you need to grow your business at your pace? Then look no further than CHL Mortgage. CHL Mortgage provides you with a full range of residential loan products and services. You'll be backed by an exceptionally trained team of professionals that can take your clients as seriously as you do. Your clients will be treated with dedicated service, personal integrity, and exceptional professionalism. You'll be able to guide them in the right loan with competitive rates and keep them on the road to achieving life's goals. To get started on advancing your career, call Dino with CHL Mortgage at 949-720-1616. That's CHL Mortgage, 949-720-1616.
Welcome back to Money Matters with Dino. If you have any questions at all about anything you've heard or anything you will be hearing, get your pen out and write this number down. It's 949-720-1616. That's 949-720-1616. Or check us out online at moneymatterswithdino.com. This next segment is brought to you by Citywide Home Loans, bringing you the lowest rates, bringing you the best service, bringing you the best everything you've ever heard of in your life. And I say that because obviously I'm affiliated with Citywide Home Loans, also known as CHL Mortgage here in California. But everybody says that, and I want to really get across that it's not about the best rates, the best service, the best this, because anybody can say that. It's truly about having somebody that cares more about you than they do the transaction. And when somebody cares about you, they'll do the right thing. So that's what I can promise you, that if you deal with Citywide Home Loans, that you will be treated like a family member, because ultimately you're the client, you're going through the biggest transaction of your life most likely, and you have a lot of questions, and you know what? You need a professional that knows how to answer those and can be able to deal with your particular situation. So you're not just a number over here. Call us at 949-720-1616. All right, guys. We have a bunch of questions here, but Jay, you were asking a bunch of questions during the break, and instead of me being the host, I'm going to let you be the host. You just go ahead and ask these questions.
Okay. So, Rapallo, I'm really interested in this because I'm always thinking of ways to enhance the industry, much like yourself, because I agree with you. There's so many broken components to it. A couple questions I have. How does Rapallo make money? Where does the money come from? How much money is it? Is it a percentage? Is it a fixed cost?
Okay, so the only cost involved is a $300 flat fee that the seller pays at close of escrow. So anyone can go in and register on the site for free. Buyers can go in and register for the site on free. Listing agents can go in and register. Listing agents can actually put the properties on the site. But if the transaction closes, then we collect a flat $300 fee in close of escrow.
Okay, and statistically, that's in the seller's best interest, because you said that they're losing money on most deals because people are coming in less than what they probably would have had they known what the offers were.
Our model really, when we first come out with it, we feel that on average we can increase a seller's sales price by at least 3%. But some of our experience with our asset managers, we've been able to increase sales prices by 20%.
And you had mentioned that Rapallo is similar to like an eBay in the real estate world. So I was wondering, is it timed? Is it like eBay where you have 1 week to put in offers and then kind of at the last few hours everyone's throwing them in?
Basically how the system works is it's an open marketplace. So anyone can compete or make offers at any time. Whenever the seller finds an offer that they're really considering, they can start a clock. And the clock could be anywhere from 1 day to 14 days. During that period of time, anyone can come in and make an offer. The system is set up, however, so that if somebody waits for the very last second and makes an offer, it automatically rolls another 24 hours beyond that. So it doesn't allow that last minute situation. However, the seller can take any offer that's on the site. They don't necessarily have to take the highest priced offer.
And they don't need to wait for the clock to run up.
Well, it's to their advantage to
Sure.
let the clock run out, because one of the things in negotiating techniques is to interject time into the negotiation process.
Sure. And I had another question as well. You had mentioned that it's kind of all facilitated through this portal on Rapallo.com, but the buyer's agent is still the one representing the offer. The buyer can't just submit an offer directly to the portal, can they?
That's exactly true. You know, being a realtor for over 40 years, it was important for me to keep the industry involved in my product. And so every buyer has to be represented by a buyer's agent, and every seller has to be represented by a listing agent.
Yeah, I think that's pretty interesting. I think I'd probably would sell that, and I you know what, I probably would sell that in the listing presentation to the seller, because they've probably never heard that in the statistics, based on how much that they're probably willing to accept without a tool like this. I think that would differentiate you amongst your competition, maybe get the listing too. So I think it's a good product.
You know, there's really no question about that. The fact is that if a listing agent accepts this concept, it's one of the best listing tools that you would have, and sets you apart from anyone else going out there. When you can tell a seller, look, in addition to all the marketing I do, in addition to everything I do, open houses, everything, I have a tool that can guarantee you the best opportunity to get the highest price on your property. And I know about it, and I know how to use it, and most agents don't.
Thanks for answering those questions. I appreciate it.
That's all you got, Jay? You got 30 minutes left.
There's going to be all kinds of questions I'm going to think about in the next few minutes here.
All right, I got a couple more questions then. Jay, this one's for you. You said you use Facebook a lot. Do you ever do like the paid advertising that Facebook offers?
Yeah, I have. Again, that's kind of one of the things that I've just tested with different ideas, because one of the great things with Facebook pay-per-click ads, you can really narrow down the demographic to whatever you want, you know? So if you've already done a little bit of research, maybe through the National Association of Realtors or whatever, and you see that people from the ages of 23 to 31 are buying their first home in Costa Mesa, and this is the size of it, this is the median price of it, what have you, you can reach out to those specific individuals on Facebook and do a pay-per-click ad.
Got it.
So yeah, I've definitely dabbled around with different campaigns of that sort.
And then with Facebook, is it the type of thing where you have to be super edgy and like, bam, in your face, you're going to capture somebody because you got literally 1, maybe 2 seconds before they scroll to the next one? Or is it just that slow, constant, steady drip of you letting your personality out and then people see it on a regular basis?
Yeah, it's absolutely the latter. It does not require any sort of tech skill whatsoever. If you know how to write an email, then you know how to use Facebook. And really, you kind of hit the nail on the head. It is a steady drip, and people don't do business with me because of a listing I have or because of how many sales I do or anything like that. It's because of the trust that's there. Uh-huh. So general rule of thumb for me, when I'm on Facebook, I'd say 75% of my posts are not real estate related at all. Okay. I'm very transparent. I don't have a personal page and a business page. I just have a personal page because I want people to see, you know, for example, I'm covered in tattoos. My body is just like all over the place tattooed. And if you're friends with me on Facebook, you'll see that. You'll see that I like to ride a motorcycle. You'll see that I own an English bulldog. You'll see that I do Muay Thai when I exercise. And people really start to think, I know this guy. Whether they do or not in the physical form, they think they know my personality, they know my sense of humor, and once you trickle in all objective real estate knowledge, maybe what your activity is, people start to think, if I have a question, I'm going to ask Jay. And more often than not, the questions I get are from people that I A, haven't talked to in at least 10 years, or B, that I maybe have never talked to.
Well, you said something earlier that I find really interesting, because I'd say the majority of the people always say my sphere of influence, that's who I'm going to go after. And that they're the low-hanging fruits, so to speak. But your sphere of influence is 6 degrees of separation, which is a much, much larger net that you're casting. And I think you're right. In reality, a person doesn't have to know you, but if they know X amount of people that know you, you're kind of okay already.
Right.
And
as far as the sphere of influence goes, I think one of the biggest things in any sales job, not just real estate, that people are constantly hearing, especially when they get started, is, call your friends and call your family and let people know that you're an agent. And or start door knocking and tell your neighbors that you're the local expert, right? Whatever that's supposed to mean. And I never subscribe to that philosophy. I think it's kind of sleazy, at least for me. Like I wouldn't want to call from one of my friends and make, oh, by the way, I'm an agent. I mean, that's okay. But there's much more subtle ways of doing that.
Right.
And one of the ways is, if you look at my Facebook, my default picture is just my real estate, what's on my business card.
Right.
And so any comment I leave, any status I post, I don't need to say that I'm a realtor, because you see the headshot right next to it.
Yep.
I mean, it's just a reminder without physically, reminding people.
So, Ron, what percentage of real estate agents would you say have a picture on their business card or website that's them from like 20 years ago?
Probably quite a few.
I don't think Jay has that problem. How many, I'm just curious now, I got to ask, how many doors have you knocked on?
Oh, man, I don't know. I mean, it's more important to ask how many office meetings I've conducted, which is probably 16 or 17,000.
Yeah, geez. And Jay, you haven't knocked on any doors, have you?
There's certain times where I've done door knocking campaigns, but it's probably not in the traditional sense that you're thinking of.
All right. What about text messaging? Is there a market for capturing new clients off of text messages?
There probably is. I mean, I don't really use it for that. I do text my clients once they already are a client, so it's not really a capture tool. It's more of, I've got clients that prefer to fax things instead of email, prefer to talk rather than text, and then the other way around, right, where they would much prefer a text or an email because it's quick and it's efficient. So my general rule of thumb is that I will use a text message to communicate simple information, but anytime that there is something that needs to be thoroughly explained, or even a possible dispute, I'm on the phone, so nothing's misinterpreted.
Got it. What about video? From everything I've heard, and even our own radio show, it's just radio, but we videotape everything now and put it on YouTube, and that seems to be the upcoming new way. Do you do much in video?
Yeah, I have probably maybe 8 to 10 different YouTube videos up. It's part of my video blog on my website, and they're mostly just educational pieces. Any time that I'm fueled by something that happened that is maybe something broken in the industry, I'll blog about it on Active Rain, or I will do a video blog and post it on YouTube. And I do think that identifying someone through a video is good, because you get to understand who the person is. You're seeing them talk. It's not just behind a computer screen or over the phone. But with that, there's things behind the scenes that are much more important. Like that video is searchable through search engine optimization, right? So depending on where it's embedded and how many links are going to it and whatnot, people can find you through that in itself. And that's happened with me I don't even know where they found it from.
So we have less than a minute left, but I want to throw it out real quick. You mentioned blogging. Is blogging, like true blogging, in essence the same as posting on Facebook?
No. Through Active Rain, if you have a specific account it is set up for SEO, and they are weighted very heavily in Google's algorithm. So if I were to blog on something right now and say it was how to buy a home in Costa Mesa, and I published that blog and you searched it on Google, it would probably be the very first result.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Ron, do you blog at all?
Well, in many aspects, I've come to the future, but I must admit that Jay could probably teach me a lot today.
You're listening to Money Matters with Dino on K-Talk AM 1150, and you heard it here. Ron Mazzano just said that he could be taught something by the young guy. If you have any questions at all about anything you've heard here, call us at 949-720-1616. That's 949-720-1616. Or check us out online at moneymatterswithdino.com. From your estate to real estate, we're here to help. Stick around after the break. We're going to ask our guests just a few more questions, and we're going to get to the Ask Dino segment where I finally get to answer some of the questions you've either emailed us or Facebooked us throughout the week. We'll be right back.